Welcome to Rooster Radio, a broadcast dedicated to supporting and promoting local artists in the Gaston County and surrounding areas.
This episode of Rooster Radio is brought to you by Lead Fiddle Guitars. So check it out, y'all. Before we got the Rooster open, we were promoting our business, and I got this random message on Instagram from a guy. His account was Lead Fiddle Guitars, and he started a conversation with me. He started talking to me, telling me that he likes what I was up to, and I'm gonna give a shout out to him right now. Shout out to DJ. And ultimately, he told me that he has this business where he makes guitars, handmade guitars. And through our conversations, it was real inspiring. He asked if I would like to have a guitar made for the Rooster. And that's where this guitar came from. And DJ was kind enough to donate it to the Rooster. We have it hanging on our wall by the stage. It's there for anyone to play an open mic. It sounds amazing. And you can see he took a lot of time. He got our logo burned into the pick guard here. He gave it this worn look. And it's just a beautiful guitar. It's a beautiful guitar that sounds great. What's cool about what he does is he takes wood, reclaimed wood from different stuff. I know right now he's working on a piece of wood that was taken from a piece of the stage at Woodstock. And the original Woodstock, back in 1969, and he's working on this piece. I imagine this is going to have to be a several $1,000 guitar, but he's got all kinds of amazing guitars he's made out of wood that just comes from anywhere, and you could get one made too. Reach out to Lead Fiddle Guitars on Instagram, reach out to them on Facebook, and if you're in the market for a new guitar, he will make a custom guitar just the way you want it, just the way you like it. And I can attest that they sound great. They sound great on our stage, at least. Of course, that's not when I'm playing it, because I'm not a very good guitar player. So if you're in the market for a unique custom-made guitar, check out Lead Fiddle Guitars on Instagram or at leadfiddleguitars.wixsite.com. He was going to, but then he got that opportunity to MC at the game.
Oh, he's MCing.
Yeah.
I thought he just went for fun. He's like, fuck your podcast.
He's MCing. I was like, and I told him.
That's just rude. I know. I was like, damn, okay.
Well, no, he was like
semi-pro Ray.
Like I could tell, like I could hear the trepidation in his voice. Like like he didn't want to like disappoint me. And I was like, when he told me, I was like, congratulations, man! Dude, that is awesome.
That's a big gig.
And he was like,
sure.
"But Mimi's coming." I was like, "Even better."
Yeah,
great. It was cool.
I'm there for you.
No, I appreciate you stepping in.
Yeah.
But
well, I thought I went and got tattooed yesterday, and I had 2 days in a row booked, and I'm like, I'm not doing 2 days of tattoos.
Looked fresh.
Yeah, this is just a few hours old. It still got the stencil on it. I tried to wash it, but I didn't want to scrub.
That's what I was looking at. I'm like, that looks really new.
Yeah, we're doing a pretty big cover up here. So
yeah, what you covering up?
Oh, the whole sleeve. We're like incorporating sacred geometry into what I already had because I didn't like what I had.
Cool. It just looks like stained glass from over here.
Yeah, it was kind of the feel. We got a long way to go. It's still, everybody's looking at it. It's so busy. It's like, give it a minute. There's a lot of shading.
I think it's awesome. I don't think it's busy.
I appreciate it. Yeah, well, I was going to do a blackout, honestly, because I just didn't like the tattoo, and the guy that did it we don't agree on certain things anymore, and he don't know how to keep it to himself.
2016 ruined people, man.
Yeah, it was that.
It broke people.
He's a proud boy, I guess, or something along those lines, and I'm just like, I don't know if you can tell, I'm a bit liberal.
Oh, it's finally happened.
Militant.
It's finally happened to us here at the Rooster.
What?
Like people are taking political stands.
Yeah.
Some dumb lady. We announced on Monday this past week that we booked a drag show, June 2nd. I'm excited. My wife and I have been to many drag shows. We have a blast at them. They're great. But some lady, I guess, was following us, and she, she went on her Facebook page. Somebody screenshot. I can't see this lady's post or nothing, but somebody screenshot it and sent it to me, and her post was, "I'm not supporting the Rooster because the Rooster supports drag shows, and they are having a drag show." And
Yeah, people are supposed something to be mad at.
I mean,
Yes.
I don't know. She probably shops at Walmart.
She what?
She probably shops at Walmart,
Yeah.
not realizing how much support Walmart gives to that community. I bet she drinks Starbucks. Well, no,
Check Walmart.
Yeah, I'm sure she drinks Starbucks too. It's a notoriously liberal
You
company.
don't know how far our agenda spreads. Like, we've been working on this for years.
It's just a hypocrisy, man.
Evil gay.
It's exactly.
I
Two
just,
little devil horns.
I just did a queer event, 420, and it was like drag queens, and I was the
Yeah.
comedian, and we were all talking about it, and it's just like, what about this? We were just all happy. There was a bunch of people dressed in 80s. It was someone's birthday party. It's just like, we're just so sweet, and it wasn't even sexual. I mean, I was the dirtiest one out the whole bunch. There's just some dudes in dresses. What's the big fucking deal?
The hypocrisy is what gets me, because these people that grandstand, like, they support the big corporations that support this stuff. They just want to attack a place like us because we're small potatoes.
Yeah, they just want something to bitch about, and you're an easy target, probably.
Well, who are we kidding?
Well, not
she
easy,
was probably never coming anyway. She's
people
stuck at
just
home.
want to complain.
Well, she's probably sitting at home taking care of her grandkids.
Or she could have just been jealous of the beautiful drag queen makeup that she can never achieve.
Maybe that's it. I just assume she's taking care of her grandkids because, with that kind of hate in your heart, I doubt she raised well-rounded children.
Well, they might be round, but ain't nothing wrong with that. I broke it. I'm sorry, Ron. I don't know what I did.
That's okay.
That's not the first time that's happened.
That's our gaydar.
I actually have a joke about the fact that I just they just won't do anything for me. I don't understand.
Oh, God.
Oh, Jesus.
I barely touched it.
I'm not supporting the Rooster.
Yeah.
Fuck that lady. She felt compelled to proclaim to her tens of followers.
Tens of followers.
Okay, Janice, now calm down.
She probably
Take your
felt real good about it too when like 6 rednecks commented, "Yeah, fuck that place."
I hate them. In Jesus' name, I hate them.
Oh, my gosh.
Bless them.
Oh man, I bet she slept so good that night.
Yeah, that'll show them.
Yeah.
They're going to regret the day they mess with Margaret.
One big Facebook comment.
I bet she probably, that's probably why she's, miserable old lady. She probably drove her husband to be a drag queen. That's why she hates drag so much.
He's living his best life.
I don't know. With stuff like that, I feel like it's easier to just not go.
Yeah.
Like,
We ain't hurt nobody.
Imagine if people put that kind of energy into like hating pedophiles.
Right?
Yeah. Well, they're
Right?
kind of lumping those two things together, and
they
most
are
of the
not.
drag queens I know can't stand children.
Exactly.
They don't want anything to do with their fucking kids. Ew, they're sticky and gross.
Even furthermore, if you're taking a religious stand with it, the God that I know loves everybody.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? The God that I was, that I was taught about, was taught to love everybody.
Yeah. There's a few good Christians.
the
I know a couple of them.
Well, and that those that judge are the ones that are
Yeah.
not the right people. So I don't know what happened with that. So
I hope she doesn't have any gay
Slippery
family
slope.
members. I really don't,
I feel
because
sorry for 'em.
I'd feel
Yeah.
sorry
Well,
for
they
them.
probably don't fuck with her. I got a lot of family I don't fuck with.
yeah, they probably just stepped away from it.
Thanksgiving's ruined.
Yeah.
You can't come home for Thanksgiving because mean old Aunt, what's her Margaret, mean old Aunt
Janice.
Margaret,
I think we've had called her a couple names already. Janice,
grandstanding at Thanksgiving,
Yeah, stereotypical Caucasian lady names.
Margaret. Right.
And Karen would be the most obvious, I
she's
suppose.
probably a riot at parties,
Yeah. It's
I
too
don't
loud.
like this. Yeah.
There's too much salt in the potato salad.
Has that face that always looks constipated.
The spiky.
Oh God.
The
I call that the porcupine.
Oh, yeah.
This is what it looks
It
like.
looks like it would hurt. They back into you. It's like, my eye. Oh, no.
She probably uses the N word in private.
Yeah.
Oof.
Just whispers it to herself
Or
before
ma-
she goes to bed.
She gets wet when a black dude gets shot at the news.
You getting all this? Have we started? What's going on?
Oh yeah, it just goes. It just goes
Oh,
naturally.
okay. I didn't
Yeah,
realize
we're having
I thought
fun.
we were just shooting the shit.
Basically, that's what it is. We just shoot the shit.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah, it's just a conversation. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong. She probably has a great life. She probably drives a Cadillac. She's married to the,
Wait, the Mary Kay Cadillac?
yeah, exactly. She's got
Pepto-Bismol pink. It's lovely.
her husband's like the leader of your local hate group. You know, I can see him now in the basement on me. She's bringing down trays of pigs in a blanket. You boys are hating good today.
Like there's some kind of pigs in a blanket joke there, and I'm missing it.
Plotting on how to
There
keep a
is,
statue
but I don't know
up.
if I want to say. I don't know if I want to go there.
Well, no, it's
You're
inappropriate.
in a safe space. Just leave this room. You'll be fine.
Yeah, we'll right on YouTube.
Karen's gonna be on Facebook again. You're
Right.
damn right, Karen.
You got to figure out how to keep that statue up.
Oh God.
They're hollow.
Oh,
so
my
they're
God.
easy. Just pull them right down.
Sorry, I don't mean to. I don't know. It was the first one, right? We've been open 6 months, and it's the first time someone's
Oh, okay.
professed they're not going to support us. I'm like,
Means you're doing something right.
That's exactly how I feel about it.
Yeah.
Like, we must be doing something right, 'cause that's when you start getting hated on.
Because I was actually even wondering, like, did she follow the Rooster and then decide not to, and that's how she saw it, or because I know I shared it.
Well, that's the problem when you book country shows,
Yeah.
metal shows,
Yeah.
comedy shows, and drag shows. You try to give everybody something.
Yeah.
Like that's the goal here, is to entertain everybody.
Yeah, that's good.
And I guess that's why. I mean, like I said, 2016 broke people, man. It broke them. Like I grew up in a world where like everyone was different and diverse, and I lived in Raleigh for most of my 20s, and Raleigh's a melting pot.
Yeah, definitely.
And I got to know all these awesome people, and I never gave a shit about orientation. I don't know. And
I don't care. I just
yeah.
like people, and if you're an asshole, I don't like you. If you're not, we're all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's all it is.
Pretty much, yeah. I give everybody. I was talking to someone recently. It's like I want to like everybody, and that's just not possible. And I've come to on a spiritual journey, and I've come to the conclusion that I love everyone, but I don't like everybody. So I don't have to fuck.
That's a
with
good
them.
way to put it. I feel that same way.
I hope that they can improve, but I'm not going to be around to see it. I wish you best of luck on your journey.
Yeah,
but ours ends here.
Yeah.
I still have a pretty solid faith in humanity. Like that's that's why I did this. Is I do believe there's still good to be done in the world.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think there's I think it's mostly good people, but the bad is getting
It's the
the
loudest
spotlight
squeaky
right
wheel
now. Yeah,
theory.
all the news is just talking about the shitty people that are doing shitty things. It's like there's still nice people out there.
I kind of hope they
There are like 4
protest.
of them.
I kind of hope they protest the show.
Dude, you would get so much business.
It'd be great for
Like
PR.
the gay bat signal will be up. Oh, they support the gays. Let's go give them our money. I don't care what they're doing, and we will do that. That's a real, especially millennial and Gen X gays, because we never had outlets.
That's true.
Yeah.
I'm not going to put you out there like that, but I'm a Gen Xer. I'm on the ass end of Gen X, and I grew up in this town. A lot of homophobics, a lot of racists and stuff, and I just it never got me. I don't know. Maybe mom and dad did a better job with me than some of these other folks, but I never understood. I don't like negative feelings. Period.
Yeah, what's the
Like
point?
negative, even like with grief and stuff. I try to work my way through it and find that's what I love. That's why I'm attracted to comedians so much, because comedians are the best at finding comedy from tragedy.
Yeah, that's what you have to do.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I definitely. I know I jokingly say spiritual liquor, but I did go through what it is. I have that vibe, and I was worried taking on such a positive attitude towards life like that. It's like, oh, there's beauty in everything. It's like, is that going to fuck up my comedy? Because you
gotta have a
depressed, angry
cynicism.
comedians are the funniest
You
ones.
got you got to have that dark balance too, where
Yeah.
you can tap into it when you need it, but don't dwell in it.
Exactly. That's where I've settled now. You'll see when you see my stand-up. It's like, okay, I've had some horrible shit, but it's like, but it's funny though. I got one joke I just wrote about. Like, I accidentally saw my dad's dick recently, and that's traumatizing. It's gonna stick with me forever. But you guys, right now, you're gonna love it. I didn't, but I'll make it funny for everybody else. It's like, I'm never gonna not be able to not have seen my dad's dick again for the rest of my life. Now I just know, and I'm seeing it right now. It's not much like that. It's not much. It was a quick sighting.
Oh man, that is traumatizing.
It's a pretty small joke. Won't take me too long to tell it.
She's running into the bit.
I got daddy
man,
issues.
just
Don't.
Just keep going.
He's not my favorite person in the whole world. Like, go figure, a gay comedian with daddy issues. Who would have thought? It's crazy. Bless him.
It's true. Being able, like what Arielle said, is true. Like having the ability to tap into the darkness, and because the truth is, like, a lot of people just can't deal with their emotions. That's how you end up in these hateful situations. Is like you haven't figured out how to get your shit resolved, so now you got to project that on others.
Right.
And so it's really you got to watch it now, because they've gotten really good at like manipulation and hiding it.
Oh yeah.
Like people. I guess as you get older, you start to see that shit. When you're young, you don't see how an authority figure is, manipulating a young mind and stuff.
Oh, yeah.
It gets easier and easier to spot. And as you get older, my hope for people is that as you get older, you get wiser, you get better able to deal with things. But it just doesn't happen for some people.
Yeah, oddly enough, my dad's a perfect example of that. He just sits around and he's mad and he hates all this. And I was thinking about that on the way here.
Do you drink Bud Light?
No, he doesn't drink beer. I was the only kid I knew that wished my father would drink more. Because he had alcoholics growing up, so he was very anti-alcohol. But every once in a while, I remember it was Mountain Dew and Wild Turkey.
Ooh.
And he would drink that when we were on vacation.
Shit.
I know, we were very country. And I remember being a kid, and I was like, oh my God, he's so nice. But he was so happy, and then when he wasn't drinking, he's like he normally is. And I was like, I wish my dad was an alcoholic. Man, my life would be so much easier. But yeah, he's just mad because life didn't turn out the way he wanted it.
I think that's a big
been
thing.
that
That's another thing. What you just said. That's a great point to make, because we all have high hopes as kids and youth and things that we want to do. And
somebody shuts them down at some point, or even I was even thinking it's just a lot of times people are like, well, I didn't get to try that. I think that's interesting, but everybody else around me is going to judge me if I say I think that's interesting. So I'm just going to say I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my 12-year-old middle school daughter right now.
Oh yeah.
I'm dealing with that on a daily basis.
I love the fact that we both have 12-year-olds.
Yeah, I mean, I remember that. I mean, shit, I'm 43, and I still remember how awkward middle school is. Like that's when all the hormones kick in. Yeah, and you're like, you want everyone to like you, but you don't know what other people's sensibilities are. Like, you come out of. For me, it was grade school, elementary school. It's the community you live in.
Yeah.
You're surrounded, and a lot of times communities are made up of a lot of the same people.
Mm-hmm.
My community just happened to be a bunch of rednecks, so I never fit in at all in elementary school. Then you get to junior high or middle school, and you start meeting all these different people from different walks of life, different incomes, different sensibilities, and for me, it just kind of opened my mind a lot.
Yeah.
But for others. And this is what I keep trying to tell my daughter is like, don't be the cliquey type. Like, just get along with everybody.
Everybody, yeah.
You don't
There's
want
so much stuff to like.
Yeah.
You don't have to like just one thing. It's ridiculous.
Well, that's what with mine. I have and I think mine goes in with this whole conversation. Mine came out last year, and I have permission to say that. And it's just okay. Honest conversations. You're going to deal with bullying. You're going into middle school. But everybody loves Anthony because he's a good kid, cares about everybody, has friends that are. Yeah. That was how it was, and it's just. But Mom, sometimes it's overwhelming. Yeah, it's overwhelming, but you're going to learn a lot about yourself in middle school.
Yeah, and the fact that he's willing to be like that now, he's going to help a lot of people.
Probably. Oh yeah,
he sounds like a good kid.
Yeah, I mean the only.
I tried not to raise an asshole.
Well, and I always try to tell my daughter to try to consider the other person's feelings. Like even in this situation, it's like I give it my best effort to try to understand where someone's coming from with like the current conversation going on. It's like when you think about it like this, if you've been raised for 30, 40 years to believe this one thing to be true, you know how like the amount of fear it must come inside to like consider that that's wrong. You spent your whole life believing something, and I don't know. For me, I realized early on that that kind of religion, that's hate. Like that's not
Yeah.
God. God is love.
Yeah.
God, that's the one thing. And I was raised in a Pentecostal church. It was hellfire, brimstone.
Yeah, they're Southern Baptist here.
Yeah,
So
very
yours
close.
is definitely hardcore.
Yeah.
We had a lot of flags and bells.
But the message that always stuck was that God's love, and it's okay. And the reason I say all this is to say that it's okay to just well, maybe that's wrong. Maybe God does love everybody, and we don't have to hate anybody because
it's kind of his job or her. We don't know.
Yeah.
But their job to judge. But
It's one of those just kind of just mind your business. If you
Mind
don't like
your
it, you ain't got to
business.
say anything.
mind your damn business. I lived in New
That
York
too.
for 3 years, and that's the biggest thing I did. Mind your damn
your
business.
business.
Ain't my business. Unless someone's bleeding, it ain't none of mine. Even then, it's still not my business. But I'll help if I can.
Right.
life is just so much better when you choose to see the good in people.
Yeah, so I
Like-
said I want to like
Yeah.
everybody. I want to. I give them all somewhat. Women get more chances. I'm sorry, I'm sexist, but women get like 3 strikes, and guys get 1.
How do you feel about male feminists?
Well, I think that's wonderful if they're being honest, but a lot of them I've noticed have kind of say that so they can
Yeah.
get some business. Just like when the
Yeah.
straight guys go to gay bars because they can hit on the straight girls that think they're safe there. Also, it's a gay bar, so be respectful of us there. We do feel some type of way when a gaggle of straights show up at our club. It's like, oh my God! It's like, get out of here. They're going to learn about our drinks. Our drinks are way stronger than everybody else's. Take all our free booze. It's ours. We're oppressed. Leave us alone.
When Mackenzie and Dakota show up for their bachelorette party.
Oh, it's always a bachelorette party. Like, look at our penis hats, girl. They don't want to look at those penises. They got plenty of other penises to be looking at. As we were hanging out at Stonewall in New York City, and we would just be out in the patio area when they had that, and just be like, straights. This is a small venue. There's so many other places in New York to go to. What are you doing?
Oh,
Come during
gosh.
the day when it's not busy.
Well, speak on for a minute. Like, so you're a gay comedian in the South. How
You
do
think
you?
I'm
Yeah.
Why?
How do you find yourself being received by some of these audiences?
Well, I've been doing it for over a decade now.
Okay.
And when I first started, it was way different than it is now. And I was I used to be on my bio on my website, I was the only openly LGBT comedian within 200 miles of Charlotte.
For real?
That was true. The next closest one was in Columbia, and it was Jen Snyder. But now I went to New York because I was like, there was hardly any queers, and then I came back, and it's like, what the fuck happened? Everybody's gay in Charlotte. It's like, I leave for 3 years, and everybody? Okay, cool. And I love it now. It's great, but every once in a while, I did a show in Mooresville. I did a couple of shows in Mooresville,
it's
and
called
they
country.
definitely don't like some of my stuff, but I know how to pull it back, and I kind of, same as you, like I grew up in this world, I know how to communicate with these people because it's my family. So
Yeah.
I know how to kind of, and it's always been my thing the whole time is to, sometimes those people that think certain things about queers, I might be one of the first gays they've ever seen, definitely probably the gayest thing they've ever seen. And I addressed that on
You're
shows.
gay as sunshine.
And I was like, I'm the gayest sunshine. I'm not trying to hurt nobody. You're allowed to believe what you believe in, much on our conversation. And I kind of would like, and I think it has happened quite a few times after a performance, people feel a little bit more comfortable with homos. They realize that we're human beings too. I remember once I did a show at the Comedy Zone years and years and years ago, and it was an urban show. It was mostly black folks and older, and I can't remember the guy that I opened for, but I remember I don't remember his name, but he was dressed kind of like Steve Harvey. He had like that cool
Like that
ass
suit,
yeah,
almost
like
like
rocking it. And then they had my white gay ass up in there. I was like, I don't understand what this combination's about, but okay. And I rocked it. I love performing for any audience, and I rocked it. I had a great time. And at the end of it, we were doing the handshake and merch, stuff like that. And at the very end, this dude, he's a little drunk, runs up to me. He's like, hey! He's like, hey, I don't play that gay shit, and you need Jesus. But you funny as fuck. You're funny as fuck. And I'm like, do you want a sticker or a t-shirt? You can just have one. You can just have one. Follow me on
That's
Instagram.
one of those comments you don't know how to respond. You're like, all right, thanks.
Okay.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
I've that's kind of exactly what I was shooting for. It's like, hey, you might not like gays, but do you think I'm funny? No.
It's just, yeah. I mean, I'll go back to what I said earlier. About how I wish people put that kind of energy into things that really mattered.
Yeah.
Like, because the truth of the matter is, who gives a fuck? Who cares? Like, who cares about any of that? The Bible's a pretty long book, and there's a whole lot of other things. The Ten Commandments. Shouldn't we start there? Can't we put energy into like the whole don't kill people?
Yeah.
Don't.
Yeah, it's like, what was it? I just saw a meme, and it was like talking about drag queens, and it's like they don't even talk about adultery, and that's on God's top 10 list.
Right.
That's on the top 10. There ain't nothing in there about drag queens.
I think it's the hilarious. Most of the people that are making the big stink about drag queens right now are the people who need to follow those 10 Commandments, because I think they've broken pretty much every single one of them.
There's some pretty basic ones on there, and they be doing the hell out of that. Adultery. I think it was kind of referenced to Donald Trump a little bit, too.
Oh,
yeah. Like, adultery's top 10. That's like 4th or something, right?
Yeah.
He made a literal list.
They're just, I don't know, man. They're just angry because they grazed their hand against some dude's dick one day and kind of liked it, and now they hate themselves for it.
Or they want to dress in drag and they're just jealous. Just do it.
Just do it. Try it out.
You'll be beautiful.
I've drawn a mustache on. It's fun. It's a good time. I got a good face shape for a mustache. But I just grow a goatee. It's crazy. I pluck it, though. I wouldn't have what you have.
My husband thinks it's crazy because I was like, no, if I grow a mustache, I'd be the type that would compete. And I'd have like one of those funky handlebars, so I could sit there and do this all day. Oh, I love that.
You mean the?
Yes,
I'm excited.
He just looks at me. He goes, you're fucking weird. I was like, I would just sit there like this. He's like, you're a weirdo.
You can still do that.
Is that why you got that tattoo?
I got this a million years ago, right before it got super popular. But I kind of just always.
That's cool.
I don't consider myself particularly. I think I just dress comfortably. I don't consider myself butch or masculine, but I just love a mustache. It's the same what you're saying. It's just like it just seems like such a good time.
I mean, I could switch to being an evil villain like really quick if I wanted to.
You got the eyebrow for it too. So
I don't have
those are drawn on. I've watched too many drag queen videos.
I don't have the ability to like grow it like real thick and long, but I've had this mustache since I'm 17, and I've had a goatee.
It's the same one. It hasn't changed at all.
No, if I've shaved it once, nice.
That's weird.
I shaved it once for a job. I got this job when I lived in Raleigh, and I was like mid-20s. Oh my God, I hated it. I hated looking in the mirror.
In the mirror.
Yeah, I had that job for like 8 months.
I got it.
I had a job for 8 months, and after 8 months, I was like, I'm sick of this shit. I'm growing my mustache back.
I'm tired of this, Grandpa.
Yeah.
Just got your upper lip exposed.
It was weird,
flapping.
man. It feels weird. It felt weird. Like, I don't know.
Your face was naked.
Yeah, exactly.
It's kind of. I think that's what I feel like all the time.
Naked face.
I don't have any lip.
Do you ever catch yourself sitting there going like this when you think? Like,
yes.
Okay, I'm not the only one that does
that.
I'm still going.
Yeah.
So tell me a little bit about. You said you've been doing it over a decade.
Yeah.
Let's actually talk about your comedy career.
I didn't know what this was about. I just showed up. Sure.
What got you started? Who inspired you? And because it's a brave thing to do to just put yourself out there and just start telling jokes for people. How did it start?
Especially you might not be funny. You don't know.
Yeah, you might not know about me. Ray might have lied to y'all. Oddly enough, the first time I ever did stand up was almost 30 years ago. I did it in elementary school at a talent show.
Oh wow!
Nice.
And I bombed, so I took like 20 years off to really work on my set. But no, I've just always loved it. I remember being a kid. My dad was still in cable, and we had Comedy Central, and I was like, "What the hell is this?" And I just started watching, like what was it, pulp comedy or something, and then like Def Jam comedy, all that shit. I was just a kid. For some reason, now I look back on it, I didn't know what the fuck these comedians were talking about, but I loved it. And I just grew some balls and did it. No, I grew some lips and did it. I'm going to stop saying grew some balls, because balls are wimps. I had a whole joke about testicles and how they'd never win in a fight against a wasp. I know that's a little obscure. You have to wait until the weekend to hear about it. Maybe drag queen testicles. Those are strong. Those go through a lot. But
Yeah, they do.
I don't know about yours.
Did you start with like an open mic or something? Like,
Yeah, the second time I did an open mic, I was 27, I think, and it was in Charlotte, and I drove from Statesville to Charlotte and was terrified. There was like 30 people on the list. It was at some bar that's closed now, and I was the last one. So by the time I got on stage, it was basically the host and the guy I brought with me. And I remember that moment, and it was just like like the light was, it was really dark, and the spotlight was hitting my face, and just the microphone. It was like something out of a movie, you know? And I mean, there was two people, but I loved it.
As intimidating as that can be, it was still kind of magical.
Oh, it was just such a high, I'm like remembering, I'm getting chilly bumps. It was just such a good feeling, and yeah, comedy is just, I don't want to call it a drug, but it is kind of like that. Sometimes it just hits so wonderfully. I just did a show, the one I told you, the queer, variety show, and that was amazing. But then the show before that was for some less hetero or less homosexual people. I guess I don't know. They were a little uptight, and and that hurt a little. But so it's nice.
I'd imagine that has to play into your decision making process in terms of getting gigs and stuff. Like, considering like who your audience is going to be, that's probably like another layer of the onion that might make things more challenging for you.
Yeah. I wouldn't turn it down though, because I think that's what makes a good comedian, if you could perform before anybody. And my stuff's pretty, I wouldn't call it clean. It's not particularly blue, but it's I talk about gay shit and sometimes a little bit of religion and stuff. And, you know, I think if I could make any type of group, at least some of them laugh, you know. I did a show in Tigakay, and I feel some type of way about it. I kind of got tricked into doing it, and it was at a country club, like a really fancy country club, and it was a fundraiser. So they all paid like, I think like $50 a ticket. It was almost, I want to say like a couple hundred people. It was a big open area, and I got there, and it was just like the old white Republican looking, like, not that there's anything wrong with being Republican or old and white, but sometimes those types of people don't like me very much.
Yeah.
And it's like, I remember the front, which is these grandmas, like probably 70s, 80s maybe, and I'm like, y'all want me to do 30 minutes? And y'all know the shit I talk about, but I just decided to lean into it. I was like, let's talk about Iraq. I just did a bunch of shit. And it was pretty hard. The majority of them did not like me, as I didn't think they would, but I gave it my best. And at the end, I still had quite a few people come up to me and be like, dude, that was so amazing. Fuck all these people. They don't know what the fuck. And that's how you know, because they were like, these people were sitting next to me, and I told them to shut the fuck up, because you're great. And I'm like, thank you so much. I'll never perform here again. And also, I didn't get paid. That was the bigger thing. I ended up not getting paid, and I thought I was supposed to be getting paid, because the dude sold it to me. He's like, oh, there's going to be like 400 people here. They're all paying $50 a ticket. Why are you telling me how much they're paying if you ain't going to pay me?
If you're not going to pay me.
And he was like, oh, it's for exposure.
And so I was just about to say, oh, you're getting exposure.
To who? Tiga K? There's my career.
I mean, it is tough.
Tiga K's great. I love Tiga K. I don't know if any very successful. Is that where Kevin Hart's from, you think? Maybe?
Well, it's funny you say that. Like, like I said before, we've been open 6 months now.
Yeah.
And, you know, my job now is to work with local artists, local musicians, local comedians. Everyone I work with is on the local or regional level. And I'm really starting to clearly understand why the people that make it get out of these small towns and go to the New Yorks and the LAs and the Chicagos or wherever, because, you know, what I'm up against. I'm up against a community that's a Bible Belt Southern community, and I'm trying to convince people to come to this place and be entertained. Yeah. And, you know, there's not enough people. You know what I mean? Like
yeah, it's just
there's not enough people to where the streets are full, and you're not getting exposure. You're only getting exposure to one demographic when you stay in your nice little town, and you got to get out there, because different parts of the country have different sensibilities, different ways of life.
That's very true.
You know, and that's what makes the great comedians great, is like their material kills anywhere.
Yeah, you got to be versatile.
Yeah.
Be so good they can't deny it.
Yeah.
That's kind of the goal.
Yeah, so I imagine, have you gotten to travel a lot?
I've traveled a good bit. Not lately, because I came home to help with family stuff after New York, so I'm kind of stuck here. I can't. If I do, I can't tour. But if I go for like a day or two, it's not that big of a deal. I'm doing Pensacola next week or next month.
So you can do like you can't do like a whole weekend, but you can go for like a Friday or
Yeah,
a
I can
Saturday
go for
gig.
a weekend, but it's just it can't be here because I my dad's disabled and my aunt's, and I'm their caregiver somewhat, so I kind of can't.
Your aunt's not named Margaret, is it?
No. She's actually one of the real Christians that I was talking about. She's very Christian and very Republican, but somehow we work very well together. So
Yeah.
I like that.
It's that love.
She prays for me a lot.
I mean,
We have a healthy relationship, so that's good.
that's good.
Yeah.
That is.
I mean, even my parents have come around.
Yeah.
Yeah, my parents, when I was younger, I mean, we were taught that being gay is wrong.
Yeah,
it's a sin.
Me too.
Yeah, that's how I was raised, and even now, my parents and I have had these conversations. I mean, there's members of our family that are gay, and
Yeah.
and it's funny because once everyone got the internet in their hand, we got exposed to so much information. There was and I think that's what led us to what broke people. It took 7 years to break American people, right? It was 8 years. It was 08 or 09 when the internet went on. Yeah, first smartphone.
Oh,
And it took 8 years of us just digesting constant
Yeah.
information for us to break. Because again,
Yes, I never really thought about it like that.
different
That makes a lot of sense.
different parts of the country, different sensibilities. Now you're all of a sudden you're a 20-something-year-old living in the Bible Belt, only ever been taught to be this Christian way, and then now you're getting on message boards and chat rooms with people.
You find out there's more people like you.
Yeah. And then you start to learn that, maybe this thing in the back of my head that I've been afraid to say is true. And then now everyone gets more vocal. Everyone's like, oh, okay, well, this is how I feel about it. And instead of just shutting up and getting in line and being a good member of your community, you say one thing that's someone sees it sideways, and now you're under attack.
Yeah.
And you take that and you magnify it by millions.
Yeah.
And that's how we end up where we are with the current social conversation.
Right.
Yeah. It's just, yeah, I agree with that. There's a lot of, it's just too many fucking angry people. I just wrote a joke recently too about TikTok and how it's just so many people don't have a voice in their real life, I guess, so they just want to go bully someone because I guess they feel bullied. And I posted a TikTok recently, and it was literally, there's a wasp in my car. And I'm just like, oh no, there's a wasp. That's it. It's like 15 seconds. Like, look at this wasp in my car. The amount of rage that this instilled, and very specifically men, I'm assuming straight, because gay guys are just too busy getting their dick sucked to be commenting on some random girl's TikTok. But they were so fucking mad. I had 4 different guys tell me to kill myself
For having a wasp
because
in your car?
I was afraid of a wasp in my car. And that's what kind of the joke was like, you should grow some balls. I was like, I don't see where testicles are going to help me to get this wasp out of my Subaru.
Well, you can swing them and you can kill the wasp with your big, huge balls.
Well, those testicles wouldn't win in that fight, though. I would win. But yeah, like, it's just, I don't know, man.
That's so
That makes
silly.
0 sense. I'm sorry. I'm sitting over here trying to digest this.
Why they told me to kill myself.
Like, first of all,
Fuck you. That's what have I said? That's what's wrong with Gen Zers. And I was like, you think I'm Gen Z?
oh, thank you for the
Thank you.
compliment.
I know you're trying to insult me, but I'm only happy. It's like, oh my god.
I'm like, I'm sitting there, like, you're saying this. I'm trying to digest, like, that makes 0 fucking sense.
They were just pissed. So mad.
Jeez.
It was like you should attach a hose to the exhaust pipe and hook it up and keep your car running and sit in there with it. I'm like,
You know what? My comment
okay,
was, only if you
Randall,
just,
are you okay?
Somebody's
What's
sitting there
going on?
fantasizing you kill. Like, who's got that kind of time?
Are you guys okay?
Randall, only if you jump in here with me. Let's go out together.
Oh
Come
my
on. Because
God.
we're making comments like that, you need to go too.
But bless them. But the internet, it's just like, I noticed it's very specifically straight men, no offense or anything, but like they just, if they can, it's just a shame that there's no outlet for them. Like, what was it? It makes me, I always think of this Todd Glass quote, and he was being interviewed, and the interviewer was like, why do gay men have sex in rest areas? And he was like, let me make one thing clear. If women were willing to have sex in rest areas, straight men would be having sex in rest areas. This isn't a gay men aren't more sexual than straight. It's just men across the board. Gay guys just found a loophole because the only thing as horny as a guy is a guy. They're getting all they want out of that.
Yeah.
And so I think sometimes, I guess it just tracks to the incel vibe or something. I don't know. But
Well, I do see, there's this whole, attack on white straight males, right? Like that, and you know what? It's true. There are people, there are a percentage of people who do have a vendetta against straight white men. That's a fact. Mm-hmm. You're not helping your cause by being angry.
Yeah.
About everything.
Yeah, if you want to get rid of that, join the rest of us and like figure out a way to laugh about the things that. It's no one's trying to take. First of all, what power do you really have? Like the people that are mad about it, none of them are powerful men. The truth of the matter is, straight white men still run the world. Yeah, they're still the richest men in the world.
You're still in charge. It's okay.
Yeah, exactly.
It's okay.
Yeah, just stop. Just stop. Just fucking be nice.
Listen, I have straight white male friends. Okay. So
how dare you?
How
dare you pull that card?
Yeah, I think a lot of it just because of this year I've been dealing with my dad so much, so it does kind of come off. No, it's very specifically one straight white man that I have the biggest issue. But he's all of those things. He's definitely like, it's so hard for us right now. I was like, dude.
It's not really.
You're making it hard for yourself. That's all it is.
You're gonna be fine. Maybe not mentally, but you'll be just fine.
You'll survive.
Bless him.
I'm not gonna support the Rooster.
I support the Rooster.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yes.
I'll tell all my gay friends.
Good, because it is a completely safe space. And my husband and I were talking about it last night. He said there was some friends of ours, and they're a gay couple, and he called their names. And they were holding hands, and he said as soon as he goes, hey, they quickly did that, and he said that broke my heart.
Yeah.
He said I want to make sure that they know that they don't have they don't have to do that. It's a be yourself, be who you are.
That's nice.
Yeah, I mean, look, my job, my goal is to entertain everybody. So there's going to be shows that are marketed toward gay people. There's going to be shows that are marketed toward religious people.
Mildred.
Yeah. The one thing that we're not going to do is we're not going to get political and take political stances. You can try to make it look like we are, but we're not. I'll book a country show and right next to a drag show. I don't give a fuck. I want everyone to have a good time.
Yeah. It's a very go with the flow place. Just go with the flow and just enjoy it. If you don't like it, don't.
Yeah. I mean, people are doing a pretty good job of not coming to shows as it is. So if I can book a show that people show up for, I'm going to keep doing it.
Right.
That's great.
I'd like to pack it out this Thursday because Mimi will be performing here this Thursday for our comedy night in downtown Gastonia, hosted by Ray Money. We got Doc Love. Do you know Doc?
I'm excited to meet him.
Yeah, I've never met him either. Yeah, he seems really like sweet guy.
Like smoldering in that flyer. It's like, oh my God, I'm gay, Doc. Quit, stop.
He's like, I'm.
It's all the flyers.
Yeah.
Hey, ladies.
Yeah, well, when you look at the flyer, you can see it. Look, I was like, I'm gonna make you straight tonight.
Well, his name is Doc Love. So I would have said, Doc Love in the building. How you doing, lady?
You might break down.
Like one of those 70s nights DJs. On the mic, we have Doc Love.
Just a quiet storm.
He might cure me. Oh my God. Cure you. My dad would be so pissed though.
Oh my gosh.
But yeah, and we do this every month, by the way, the stand-up comedy show. It's the fourth Thursday of every month. And I want to thank you for coming and doing the show. I'm really excited. You can find. You want to do plugs?
Just at Mimi Benfield. I haven't updated my website. My website's gayofsunshine.com, but it has not been updated since before the pandemic. So for
you must have got that early on.
Oh yeah, I immediately bought that as soon as I came up with it. Oh, the Gay of Sunshine. That's so clever, me. But just at Mimi Benfield on all the platforms.
And if they can't get you here this Thursday, which you should come here this Thursday, where can people see you perform at?
I'm at the Comedy Zone in Charlotte all the time. Whenever they always tell me last minute, so I don't know until I'm going usually.
Can I ask how that works? Because I know there's like a gaggle is such a dumb word to use. There's a bunch of comedians that do opening spots and stuff. How does that work with the Comedy Zone? How do they get you guys? How do they choose who does what and all that kind of thing?
Well, you got to earn your stripes. They have a lot of during the week shows that not established comedians can kind of get onto. I don't want to call them open mics because they're kind of open mic-ish. And if you do well and are present, like I did over a decade ago, I just was there a lot. And they also, it's really cool, if you're a comedian, they allow you to watch almost any show there for free.
Cool.
They know who you are, obviously. But I just did little mics, and then I started hosting, and I worked my way up to feature, and maybe eventually I'll be headlining, but I like featuring because it's just nice and
Less pressure.
it's kind of the middle. You don't really have to. It's a lot less pressure, yeah, than being the headliner. But headliners get a lot more money though, so I don't know. I'm not sure. I'm lazy. I like just doing enough.
Yeah.
That's kind of my vibe. But yeah, I've just been working with them for over 10 years. And the owner, I met him. It's actually a fun story. I met Hef, the guy that owns it, and I was watching some show, and he came in after, I think, volleyball practice or something. And he was wearing like dirty basketball shorts and a cut-off T-shirt and a bandana, and like not looking like a millionaire, to say the least. I thought he was just some dude that liked comedy, so we started hanging out that night. And this was over 10 years ago. And we went upstairs, and he bought me a beer, and I'm all about equal rights. So I went and bought him a beer to make up for it. And he was like, "Why would you do that? I own this bar." I was like, "Okay, whatever." Guy in dirty basketball shorts. And he's like, "No, seriously, I own this and I own the Comedy Zone." And I had no fucking clue. And I was like, "This whole time I should have been kissing your ass." And he's like, "Actually, it's better because you didn't know who I was." He thought I was kissing his ass. Like, no, I just genuinely liked you. And because of that interaction, he booked me for my first gig.
Awesome.
Aw.
So there is some.
See how being a nice
networking
person
shit,
works?
obviously, yeah. He liked my attitude, and he thought I was funny in conversation. So he'd never see me perform, and he put me up for open for Carlos Mencia.
Oh, wow.
First time ever.
Big deal.
What happened to him?
He got busted.
Oh, I was wondering
Yeah, he
that
got busted.
recently.
Me too. I know he's a hack. He admitted to that.
Yeah.
I don't know if I'm supposed to be saying that, but yeah, I went to Uptown Cabaret with Carlos and his feature that he was taking with him, and we had talked, and I said something because right then I think it was when Joe Rogan was really calling out Carlos. That's like it was really calling him out for stealing jokes.
Yeah.
And Carlos admitted it. He's like, "Yeah, I steal jokes. I think it's a good thing because if I go to a random show in Texas and I hear this comedian that's never going to be famous tell this amazing joke."
That's the attitude that everyone had a problem with. That right there.
He admitted it. He's like, "I'm doing him a favor by telling all these people that would never have heard this amazing joke. I'm spreading his art for him." I was like, "Well, why don't you say his name after the joke?" I didn't say that. That would have been really cool. It was my first time opening for any celebrity.
So
I was just like, I didn't agree with him. I was just more like,
Okay.
but he was really nice though. He bought me a lap. He bought me a girl for the night. I thought he bought me a lap dance, but he bought her for the night.
Oh wow.
I did not do that. Not that there's anything wrong with it. I got some stories. I've lived a life. I've been alive for a while.
Well, I'm glad that it's happened for you. I love comedy. I love art in general. Clearly, I'm not a millionaire yet. Maybe we can make that happen. But I feel the same. A lot of times I'll book shows just because I like the person.
Yeah.
And it breaks my heart when not a lot of people show up. It happens more often than not.
Yeah,
like we have really small crowds. And we're only 6 months in. We're still new, but it does. Like this past Friday, one of the most talented guys around here, country singer. We had a very, very small crowd, and I felt bad. I felt bad that we didn't have a big crowd because I take on part of the responsibility of getting people in here. I promote every show that we book just equally as hard, and but. Hopefully we'll grow and we'll start packing out shows. I don't know what to expect for this comedy show. We can seat 60 people. That's the most we can seat with tables and chairs in here. I hope we sell 60 tickets.
Well, I know the girl that works at my chiropractor's coming.
All right.
So we got at least one. So shout out to Gabby.
Thanks, Gabby.
I've been going to this chiropractor for so long, and she's like, "I'm going to come see you. You're going to be in Gastonia. I'm going to come see you." And I'm like, I don't know if you could tell by the looks of me. I'm not very conservative there's gonna be a lot of talk of penis talk and stuff like that.
Well, last month. This is one of the things I love most about comedy is like last month's show. The headliner, he was a very, very funny guy. He's a black guy moved down here from New York, and he's a pro. He's been at it for a while. And there were a couple of older, like retired age couples here. You know, the old white conservative types. And they were having a good time. But I watched him push these people right to the point where I could just you could feel it in the room, like one more thing, and they're gonna break. And then he would say something fucking hilarious and get them right back. Yeah. And he did it like 4 or 5 times.
I like doing that. I like messing with people. Just get them I'm kidding.
And And then he was doing the same thing because it was weird because the way people came in and sat. Because I don't want to buy into stereotypes, but the white people got there earlier, so they were all sitting on one side of the room, and then all the black folk were sitting on the other side of the room. So he'd push the white folks right there, then make them laugh, and then turn right back, and then do the same thing to the black crowd that was there that night. And after the show, I told him, he come back by the bar, and I was like, man, what you did was masterful. I said that I really appreciate how
painting.
Yeah,
that's commanding your audience right there. That's
it was
talent.
Hilarious. Yeah, I love it. I love all kinds of comedy. Even hacky comedy. Silly stuff's fun sometimes.
Yeah, I like it.
Yeah, I wish I was funny.
Even prop comedy.
Really? You wish you were funnier? You're actually pretty funny.
Well, it depends. I mean, people want to hate on Carrot Top, but that dude's fucking hilarious.
He is really funny.
He's one of the funniest guys out there.
I mean, he's a little more funnier looking now after all the plastic surgery, but he's still funny.
He hasn't had plastic surgery. You're crazy.
Look, she just did it to me. I was like, what? Are you blind?
No. Get out. That's a natural art right there. Yeah. On those. People grow eyebrows on their forehead.
Sure.
That's normal.
Yeah. Right.
I think he's very beautiful. I like to look at him.
Is he going to cure you?
The last time I saw him, my only thought was, what the fuck?
That's something to see. Right. I like unique-looking folks.
Yes.
Obviously.
But yeah, Carrot Top is funny.
But no. All right, we'll wrap it up, man. I really appreciate you coming in tonight. I don't want to bore. I don't want to get people push them.
Yeah, before Michael starts telling dad jokes.
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah, if you don't. That's.
I got dad jokes.
I can make my daughter laugh. I can make a 12-year-old laugh.
Can you though?
Hey, that's a hard audience.
I'm about to say
that is a hard audience.
Well, I think she's more just laughing at me, not my jokes.
Yeah, probably so.
Maybe stub your toe or something.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that's the best. Yeah. Anytime Daddy gets hurt.
Yeah, that's funny.
My son too. My son laughs at me when I get hurt too. Anyways, I digress. Ladies and gentlemen, you can come see Mimi Benfield here this Thursday at the Rooster. What is Thursday's date? Does anybody know?
I think it's the 26th.
27th, 25th? I don't know, something.
24th is Monday.
So the 27th.
27th?
Thursday the 27th. Ray Money will host the show. Mimi will feature. Doc Love will headline the show. We have a lot more shows coming up. It's actually a pretty big weekend. Because this Saturday we've got Rev on, the Foreigner Experience, with Tangerine Trees, which is a Beatles tribute opening for them.
Yep.
And then we got Chris Cook and Beth Gatlin's coming back that next Sunday. Just all kinds of cool shows. Go to our website at theroostergastonia.com. Click the events tab, see what we got going on. Go to gayofsunshine.com for more information on Mimi.
Or at Mimi Benfield.
Gay
Sunshine is just page not found.
One last time, thanks a lot for coming in and talking to us today.
It's great to hang out with you guys.
Yeah. Peace and love.
Especially Ron. You're my favorite.
I know he was really quiet today.
Yeah.